Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome back to the Football Flex. It's all going off, man. Here we go. Noni Madueke to Arsenal. They've done it. £52 million, man. That's a crazy deal. I'm going to talk about that. Spurs moving mad. Kudus through the door. Gibbs-White through the door as well. 60 million release clause paid. Scheduled to take his medical, I think today, from what Ornstein and all those guys are saying. Spurs moving quick, moving fast. Do you know what I mean? But let's get to this Madueke thing straight away first, man. It's a here we go. It's a done deal. I've been seeing the Arsenal fans in meltdown. We've spoken about this already, haven't we? About what this deal looks like, man. And now it's actually come to fruition. We were saying it's going to be in excess of £50 million. We knew they would get to an agreement, a swift agreement. Madueke already said yes. And Arsenal find themselves getting Noni Madueke. And I'll be honest, man. I said this yesterday, right? That I still don't think the signing's a needle mover and, you know, not one of the players who gets over the line, etc., etc. I'm going to be honest. He might be getting a little bit too much hate, though. I'm like, I think there's a line in it. There's a line. I think with this type of signing, let's talk about this properly. With this type of signing, I think because it has happened, if you're an Arsenal fan, you have to try to see a silver lining. You have to try. Now, a lot of Arsenal fans, and rightly so, I get it, is like, they're like, nah, don't try and package that. No matter how you try and sell that to me, how you try and wrap it up, what you spray it in, it stinks. It don't look good. Yeah, no offense to Madueke, it don't look good. You're not feeling it, you're not vibing with it. And the only way that's really gonna have a change in defining moment or of opinion is if he does things that these people don't expect him to do, which the majority don't expect him to do because it doesn't feel like the right signing, right? If you're looking at a silver lining, because the signing's been made, it's here we go, he's gonna leave, he's gonna go to Arsenal. We have to talk about it overall. So let's talk about what it could look like for Arsenal. Back up for Saka. A lot of people who are in support of this signing, I've seen them say that it's back up for Saka. And actually, if Saka needs a rest and you're bringing in Madueke, obviously he's not as good as Saka, but in an Arsenal team that is very good, is on the front foot, if you have to give Saka a rest and put in Madueke, that's not the worst. He's a good player. Okay, I could take some of that. He's versatile. He's not as good on the left. But Trossard's getting older. You can play him instead of Trossard. And even if you go to Martinelli, you can play him instead of Martinelli. Is Madueke better than Martinelli? Again, this is where I think the argument don't stack up. Much of a muchness. I'd probably argue that Martinelli's slightly better. And but that's I don't want to say arguing between shit and shit, but it's not much in it. It's not much in it. They're both similar. They're both quick. They're both direct. They both don't always have the end product. Let's be real. Madueke can actually go past people like they're not there sometimes. Then the end product is not there. Other times he can, you know, cut in, find a shot on target, you know, get corners. He's active. He goes at his man. He's aggressive with the ball. So is Martinelli. Do they run beyond? Do they run beyond the last man and take their wingers to the byline? Yes. So they're both kind of similar in that way. Just that left footer playing on the left gives Arsenal maybe a different dimension where Madueke won't really cut in onto his right like that. But for England, he's been playing on the left, and for Chelsea, he's been spending more time there. So you can see that. Over a long season where Arsenal are going to play loads of games, I could see that. I could see why that's a thing. But that's about it. And actually, thirdly, is Arsenal's track record of doing this type of move, of helping out Chelsea, does it work? Let's just get to that. Does it work? Havertz, has that been a success? 65 million, wasn't it? 65 million. Has it been a success? Not really. Havertz, I think, does get too much stick for being like made out to be way worse than he actually is. But it's more of a misprofile. It's more of a place filler. If Havertz was working that greatly, they wouldn't be in desperate need of Victor Gyökeres. So and he was originally brought in as this sort of midfielder, left 10, just off the front kind of vibe. Mikel Arteta realised that in his squad, that's not really where it works, and he's better up front. However, him being better up front does not mean he's the striker that Arsenal need to get over the line, hence why they're getting Victor Gyökeres. So if you're talking about giving Chelsea £65 million for Kai Havertz, you're looking at who's getting a better deal. And in that situation, it's Chelsea. Look at Raheem Sterling. We don't have to talk about who got the better deal out of that. Obviously, it was Chelsea. And you look at this one and you go, who's going to come off better out of this move? £55 million. It's going to be Chelsea. It's going to be Chelsea, bro. So I think there's more cons to signing Madueke than pros. There are some pros. And guess what? Guess what, guys? We will see some of the pros of Madueke signing. He will score. He will assist. But you know why? Because there's a base level that Arsenal won't go below because they're a very good team. They're set up strong from the back. They're set up strong in midfield. And their attack creates chances. So Madueke will get to the byline, cut it back, and Gyökeres will score. Or he'll go past somebody and wrap it in the far corner, here and there. But in terms of putting in a big, significant amount, and actually, will he even start? What we might see, maybe this is the end of Martinelli, and maybe there's a bigger plan. I think Arsenal fans probably shouldn't judge how terrible this is until the window shuts. Because the reason why I say that is, right, if Arsenal, they've got Madueke, Gyökeres still isn't over the line yet, but I think that will get done. If they get Gyökeres, Madueke, and they go and get they need another big boy attacker. Rodrigo, we know now, is pretty much going to be out the door at Real Madrid, left on the bench for a 5th consecutive game, right? And they got knocked out, dealt with by PSG. If he leaves, if Arsenal get him, then again, you're still going, I tell you what, okay, you add Madueke into that makes sense. If we go and get Rodrigo, if Arsenal fans say, we've got Rodrigo, we got Gyökeres, and we got Madueke, it changes. Or even Eze. I even saw that there was reports that Arsenal still going to look for a move for Eze. So there's time to change the complexity, the complexion, should I say, of this window for Arsenal. So I would, if I was an Arsenal fan, I wouldn't lose my shit at this. But as it stands, as a standalone signing, there's more cons than pros. Chelsea are the happier without a doubt. So that's my honest assessment of breaking down both sides of this Madueke deal. And actually, I'll be honest, as much as I don't really think the signing's amazing, I think the way to express that, I don't really like the killing his character, killing his confidence, I think it's a bit too much. This is a young, aspiring English baller who I want to see do well as a neutral, just as a young kid doing well English. I like that. But I just don't want it to tilt over to this guy's there's a petition, 2,500 people have signed it. It's not going to be nice for him to see that. But it's the reality of the situation. You're Premier League footballer, this comes with scrutiny. The best thing you can do now is knuckle down and show Arsenal fans, and Mikel Arteta needs to show the planning to show Arsenal fans why this deal was necessary. Over to them. And complete the transfer window in a strong position to show, again, why it was worth getting Madueke, because we also got Eze, we also got Rodrigo. Then no one's going to talk. We fixed our attack big time. But and I think this is where the skepticism comes in for Arsenal fans, which I could totally get. If this is sort of the top end now of your attacking rebuild, then that's worrying. That's worrying. Because now, if you think about it, do you have Ethan Ranieri? Does this slow down his progression? He was coming in on the right wing. People say he plays more centrally. If you get Eze, that's another person who can play centrally, plus on the left. Even Ranieri, when you're looking to help him sign a deal because he wants to look at minutes and his pathway, all of a sudden his pathway is limited, so you have to look at these things. Madueke, in terms of a character, I think will slot straight in at Arsenal. He's got social media presence. He's got a vibe about him. He'll fit in with Saka and the man them at Arsenal. No problem with that. And you never know. He could be an unlikely fan favourite if it goes a different way. So let's see what happens there. But Arsenal have agreed that deal with Chelsea to bring Noni Madueke to the Emirates Stadium. £52 million. Big bread. It's up against it now. And now, just the same like what happened with Raya, when they're like, what are we getting him for? Raya from Brentford. Nah, man. Maybe, just maybe, it could be one where they go, you know what? Didn't think this was going to work out, but he's in good form. Look, he's playing really well. We'll wait and see. And also, let's see what happens with Martinelli. If Martinelli gets sold for 60, 70 million, 50 million. Or if he gets sold for the same that Madueke is, then it's like a straight swap and then you take that money and then you go and buy someone else. Then maybe, we'll see. On to Spurs. Fair play. Champions League money hitting different, mate. Champions League money hitting different. Because let's be real, they look like they were stagnating. People getting onto Daniel Levy. I see X every day cussing. We're not getting no players. Taking time over the Kudus deal. Got the Kudus deal done. Man's done in-house media interview already. Signed, sealed, delivered. Then straight away out the blue, when it looked like Man City were the most likely to try and advance for, that's the last we heard anyway, for Gibbs-White. Bang, release clause triggered, medical booked in. Cannot say fairer than that. Cannot say fairer than that. That is operating like a Champions League club. Let's be real. Going and get the best players or the better players from the rest of the league, sign them up, no dilly-dallying. And all of a sudden now they've just accelerated from no signings. Oh, actually, no, they got that centre-back, didn't they? The Japanese guy from Kawasaki, didn't they? Can't remember his name, but they got him. So that wasn't like raising the expectation. Getting Kudus and Morgan Gibbs-White does. It does. That is much needed surgery in that Spurs side. Kudus coming in from the sides, whether that's left wing, right wing. Now you're looking at Gibbs-White in the 10, top player, wicked signing. Looking at Maddison now with a side eye, he ain't starting. Probably not. Can't see that. They've got to share the load, but it's about having players. It's not really about, oh, Maddison's not going to play now. You need the players. You just need the players. You're a Champions League outfit now, Spurs. And for me, that's using that Champions League money wisely. You sacked Ange because you guys, no emotion involved. You know what I mean? We're not going off emotion. You finished 17th, bro. Not good enough in 2 seasons. Get out. But thank you for what you've done. Amazing. You've given us all an amazing feeling that we'll remember for the rest of our lives. And now we've got the platform to go aggressive and sign good quality players. And fair play to Daniel Levy. He gets a lot of criticism. Now, this is only a start. Still more to do for Spurs. But that's a great start. Going and get Kudus straight away. Not straight away. It took a while, but got it over the line. Then straight away giving the fans Morgan Gibbs-White. Yeah, that's intent. What else would they need now? They need a 6. If Spurs go and get like a proper 6 now, proper holding midfielder, can dictate the play, good on the ball, pass forward, pass between the lines, take the ball half turn. They need that dictator. And also they need to work out what's going on with the centre-backs, because if Romero goes, obviously he needs replacing. Maybe another fullback. Goalkeeper, Vicario's done all right, but you might want to look at that, but he's all right. So Spurs, Calvert-Lewin, could they do with another striker, to be fair? Calvert-Lewin, they kept Tell. Maybe another striker, maybe backup. Yeah, you see Forest trying to get Vissa. He could have been perfect. But Forest moving, man. Spurs moving. Very good sign. I think they'll be very happy with that, Spurs fans. Let me know what you guys are saying. Arsenal fans, let me know what you're saying. I'm out of here. Smash the like on the video, peeps, man. I'm out. Laters.